Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we are going to talk about the midterm elections and why it proves yet again why Ohio must have a one county, one rep policy going forward. So, you might remember when I was talking about the midterms the other day, there was a dude that was in one of the low districts. It was like District 3 or 4, I believe is what it was, named Mohammed, who won in that district. And I'm like, I wonder if this dude is some kind of Islam motherfucker. And what do you know? What do you know? I was 100% fucking right about that one, dude. He is one of the many fucking Somalis that should not even be in this country that piece of shit Obama forced on that rhino sack of shit John Kasich almost 10 years ago at this point. And what do we have now? Democrat is elected as Ohio's first Somalian American lawmaker. First of all, assholes at fucking WKBN 27 down there in Columbus area. The first fucking second that you put another word in front of an American, you are not a fucking American. No, this dude is a fucking person from Somalia where he fled his fucking country with his family or by himself, whatever it was, dude, doesn't matter. Fighting age male, by the way, I'd like to point that one out. He was probably fighting age male when he came over to this country, I guess, honestly, as well, on that one, given his age. But yeah, so you have an Ilhan Omar type guy fleeing the nation, coming into our nation, claiming refugee status, which they're not. When you look at our founding documents, by default, our founding fathers put shit in the fucking founding documents of this country, dude, that specifically banned Islam by name from American soil. So the fact these people are even here on American soil is fucking ridiculous. I guarantee you the only reason that this motherfucker Ismail Muhammad even won, dude, is because of the fact his entire district is probably full of fucking Somalians, is what it is, dude. It's probably the whole community is down there in that fucking one district, is my guess, honestly, dude. The fact that Secretary of State Frank LaRose didn't do his fucking job and disqualify this motherfucker on the spot at this point from the race and shit, dude, is ridiculous. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you if this asshole is able to assume power here in this state, dude, there ain't no way he ain't gonna push a bunch of fucking pro-Islam shit in this state, dude. Whether it be Sharia law garbage or something else for that matter, man. Fuck that crap. I'll tell you what, dude, I'm calling on the General Assembly right now, dude. They have at least 67, if not 68 potentially. And we're going to go over those in a minute here. In the General Assembly in 2023, when Muhammad would actually get sworn in as a state rep. Do your job. Remove every Democrat, dude. Start with Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein because they're the highest priority ones. They're the biggest, criminals is what it is. Whether it be Weinstein with the hate hoax month after I was federally swatted, whether it be Russo taking bribes from Moms Made Action on camera, May of 2021. But yeah, Mohammed does not need to be in our state house either, dude, for that matter. Neither is any other Democrat for that matter, dude. When they're all a bunch of criminals, bro. And the thing is, I guarantee you, how much do you want to bet that just like Ilhan Omar swearing an oath on a fucking Quran, that's what this motherfucker's going to do when he gets in the Ohio State House this year. Or not this year, in the beginning of next year. And if that be the case, again, disqualified, bro. Because the entire point when you swear an oath to office is that you're swearing an oath to, if you're at a federal level, you're doing it to this just the U.S. Constitution on a holy Bible. Or if you're at a state level, you're doing it on the U.S. Constitution, the state Constitution, and a holy Bible. Because this country was founded upon Christianity. It wasn't founded on a bunch of Islamic terrorism bullshit, dude. And that's the entire point right now. But how, you may ask, did this motherfucker get into office? Well, let me go ahead and show you our redistricting map right now and exactly what proves why we need a one county, one rep policy at this point, dude. And it all goes down to specifically Franklin fucking County. So looking at this map, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, you may see some interesting stuff here. You see, numbers here and there and there and here and whatnot, and like many counties is what it is. Then you have these weird like little pockets, like Franklin County / Columbus area, and Cuyahoga County / Cleveland area, and Hamilton County / Cincinnati area. And then you begin to zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and zoom in some more. And oh, what is this? Districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all in the fucking Columbus area, dude. All in Franklin County. What in the actual fuck, dude? Then let's go ahead and move over here. Cincinnati area. 30, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Let's go over here to the other big 3 C's. Cuyahoga County. 52, 53, 16, 17, 13, 14, 15, 18, 22, 21, 23, 20, 19, etc. Then we got Summit, 33, 31, 34. Stark County has fucking like 3.5 basically at this point, which is District 50, which is where I'm at right here. That's where my state rep is from. Then we got 49, which is literally Canton, Ohio. And then 46, which I think is like part of like Akron or something. But again, when you have these giant Democrat hell pockets where you have like 10 something reps up here in fucking Cleveland, 11 down here in Columbus, and like another 8 to 10 down there in Cincinnati, and then you wonder why you have 30 something Democrats in our state house right now, dude. That's the reason why. Because they're all in these fucking areas, dude. It's literally the major cities that represent these assholes that put these jerk offs in the fucking office, dude. And it's fucking bullshit, dude, entirely. But anyway, we're actually going to go to the Secretary of State's website here and discuss a few things when it comes to the map, or I should say the actual election results right now, which will be the so-called unofficial thing right now because they haven't technically certified everything yet, is what it is. But like, pretty much this is how it's going to lay out when it's all said and done, most likely. So going from Districts 1 to District 99, you obviously have, honestly, Districts 1 and 2 there in Columbus should be one district anyway, because it's Dontavius Jarrells and Letitia Humphrey, who both won unopposed races because there was nobody going to run against them because it's such fucking blue shitholes is what it is down there, dude. But again, the entirety of Franklin County should be one district is what it is. It shouldn't be, hey, you're going to have 11 fucking people here that are representing this fucking area, dude. No, it's not going to be, oh, somebody's representing Columbus. Oh, somebody's representing the east side of Columbus. Oh, somebody's representing Grandview. Oh, somebody's representing Upper Arlington, which is where fucking Allison Roos represents, by the way. I'd like to point that one out. Oh, somebody else is going to represent another rich white neighborhood in Columbus, outskirts and stuff like that. Because if you look at Grandview and Upper Arlington, actually, specifically, which is what Allison Russo's district is, I believe I don't know if she represents Grandview at all, but I know she represents 100% Upper Arlington. And if you look at Upper Arlington, who lives in Upper Arlington? Oh yeah, that's right. Pretty much every rich white motherfucker in the city of Columbus. It is one of the richest, whitest, liberal neighborhoods, racist as well, by the way, when it comes to being anti-gun and pretty much anybody that's not white in the city of Columbus there, because it is a suburb. It's also homes that cost anywhere between $1 and $15 million on average. And a lot of them are actually condos that are like $2 or $3 million there, which is just ridiculous entirely. But anyway, so going on this, you had Dontavius Jarrells become a second-term rep. You had Letitia Humphrey become an actual full-term rep now at this one because she was basically, I want to say this district was, I'm trying to remember who that one woman was now. There was one of them that was from the Columbus area that left office to go do a different office is what it was. And they appointed Humphrey in her stead is what it was. So Letitia's only been in there for like, I think it's like 4 to 6 months, something like that now. It was like basically spring, summers when she was appointed in there and then. So she's going to be a full-term rep. She's also a pretty big piece of shit too, by the way, when it comes to pushing race-based politics. She's basically a lesser version of Amelia Sykes right now. She's probably the new Amelia Sykes, actually, is my guess, because Amelia's going to be in Congress now, supposedly. But the entire point is, when you have Humphrey basically bitching and moaning and like bullshitting on Twitter about like, oh, the lights are out in this part of Columbus, but not this part of Columbus because Mo Whitey. It's like, fuck you, cunt. How the fuck are you still in our state house after that shit? And then, of course, District 3, whereas Mohammed got 80.47% of the vote, or 21,477 votes, to J. Josiah Lanning's 5,214 votes. Dude, don't concede that race, Lanning. I'm going to say it right now, dude. Do not concede that race. Demand that Frank LaRose remove Mohammed from the fucking ballot, dude. And you take that fucking seat, bro. Because again, Mohammed should have been disqualified on the fucking spot based on the fact that he shouldn't even be in this fucking country. Neither should any of his fucking buddies, is what it is, dude. That all voted for his ass. And my thing is, how the fuck are you going to give these people the ability to vote in this country, dude? It's insanity. We all know what's happening over in the UK and Britain and all these other fucking European countries, dude. Where you literally have Islamic takeovers now, dude. You know how they do that shit? They economically migrate into these countries, just like they're doing here through refugee programs. And then eventually they seize power one way or another, whether it be elections or whatever the case be. And then, shocker, what do they do after that? Oh, let's create all these no-go zones. Let's make fucking a bunch of crazy shit happen. Let's implement Sharia law when we have the fucking power, etc., dude. You can look at any country where Islam is the majority. There are no minority religions in them, dude. Period. Because they get wiped the fuck out. And that's what I'm saying, dude. I guarantee you this Ismail Muhammad dude is nothing more than another Ilhan Omar, dude. He's Ohio's version of Ilhan Omar, dude. You may remember she came from Minnesota originally. Well, technically, she came from Somalia originally, then migrated as a child fucking soldier because her father was basically a fucking warlord guy over there and had her in a fucking army is what it was, dude. That's actually proven, by the way, at this point. You can look that shit up yourself to verify. And then, you know, falsely claimed some bullshit here to get into America under Bush 1's administration. And that was after the whole Black Hawk Down situation in the 90s. And then basically, eventually, you know, grew up in here in America, hating Americans and hating America and everything else like that, and just being a fucking piece of shit, you know, Somali terrorist is what it is. And then was espousing a bunch of crap, got elected to the Minnesota State House of Representatives there, and then eventually Congress to take over Keith Ellison's seat is what it was, dude, after Keith Ellison became AG of Minnesota now. And it's like, bro, what the fuck? You know, seriously. It's just absolutely ridiculous, dude. And then, of course, we got District 4 went to Mary Lightbody. She was the current state rep there. Interestingly enough, Jill Rudler actually almost got her in that one, dude. There was less than 6,000 votes representing the two of them. It was 27,263 to 21,963. So, yeah, you're talking about, give or take, like 5,300 votes, something like that, between the two. So that was really close. This one is what I think is interesting, and it'll be interesting to see if they actually legitimately give this to Ronald Beach IV, or if it becomes something where Ohio has some kind of weird runoff or something like that, because I'm not sure. I was looking up stuff earlier. I know I've heard of stuff before, because it was usually like mayoral races and stuff like that are real close and shit. They would do like a coin flip kind of thing or whatever, or they would do like some kind of runoff thing like that or whatever it is. But that's at like a local level. I don't know if we have anything at a state level, though, is what it is, or if you would actually just have Ronald become legit rep at this point, dude, because that race was fucking insanely tight, dude. Richard Brown, who was the incumbent, got 16,825 votes. Ronald Beach IV, Republican, got 16,921 votes, or 96 votes more than state rep Brown did. So less than 100 votes representing those between those two men. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see if that actually becomes the real tally or not, and if if Beach actually does become an actual state rep for the first time. If that be the case, that would be fucking awesome, dude. And I'll tell you what, that right there, that is a race where it shows every vote does count, man. Because you have less than 100 people deciding the fucking race potentially. That's insane, dude. Then we got District 6. That piece of shit Adam Miller became a, I believe, third or fourth term rep right now over Joe Worthington. I would have loved to see Joe get in there. About 4,000 votes between the two of those guys. 14,000 to 10,000. Of course, Allison Russo got him by default. That district should go away forever is what it is in District 7. Beth Liston, who actually primaried Monique Smith earlier this year, ended up beating Zuli Trumpier by about 17,000 votes, give or take. Then again, going back to default bullshit here, District 9 went to Manara Yasmin Abduli, who I believe is actually originally from either India or Pakistan. I forget which one it was. I think it's India. Again, why the fuck are we letting foreign nationals have a say in our actual fucking representative process at this point, dude? This is America, for God's sakes, dude. Stop allowing foreign nationals to hold power in this country, period. Fucking ridiculous, dude. Moving on to District 10, you got another Republican pickup here. This is one of the ones that was, I believe, the dude who originally held that seat was termed out. I want to say it was Kent Smith's seat, maybe, who's now going to be a state senator, which is absolute bullshit, just like Catherine Ingram, just like Paula Hicks Hudson, and just like Shane Wilkin. All four of them should have been disqualified from the running because, with the exception of Shane Wilkin, who could have ran for another term in our state house, the other three were all termed out. Get the fuck out and don't come back. It's as simple as that, dude. Like, there's no reason for you to be termed out on one side and be able to flip-flop to the other side, or vice versa. It's fucking bullshit, dude. But, yeah, you got David A. Dobos with 16,780 votes to Russell Harris, who's a Democrat, with 14,816 votes, so 53.11% to 46.89%. So, yeah, good job, Dobos. Taking District 10 down there and, you know, a mostly fucking liberal shithole of Columbus. I'm wondering, honestly, if where he was representing, though, was more closer to where Jim Jordan represents down in the Columbus area there, which is basically like a suburb that's sort of a little bit righter leaning is what it is then, because it's like the outskirts of Columbus and stuff like that, like maybe like a Reynoldsburg or something like that, I don't know. Or some other place like that, like a working class area pretty much is what it would be then. I could see that being the case, honestly. And that's probably why he won, because I'm guessing he is a working class man. But anyway, then on the opposite side, you got District 11 going to Anita Somani with 27,421 votes to Omar Taraziz, 21,632 votes. Those were both basically first-term people that would have got in there. So, you know, kind of sucks that Anita took it, but it's whatever, man. Again, it's all leftist fucking area, dude. And again, when you have every single one of these 11 fucking districts that should be in the same fucking county as one district, this is the problem right now, dude. One county, one rep, period. End of story, dude. For real. Then we had current state rep Brian Stewart basically take a default win there because there's a write-in candidate there, but they got nothing on the votes is what it was. District 12 went to current state rep Mike Skindell, who's a fucking scumbag. Actually, here's a funny story about Mike Skindell. Mike Skindell was the fucking piece of shit. If you go back, there was a thing when Ohio made national news about the whole like trans sports issues thing and stuff like that, where you had current state rep Republican and potentially my future wife, Jenna Powell, running, I shouldn't say running, she was introducing a piece of legislation as an amendment to another piece of legislation. And it was basically like, yeah, ban, you know, men and women's sports is what it is kind of thing here. You had Mike Skindell and a couple other fucking Democrat dudes basically banging on chairs and shit like that and being like, no, woman, you need to shut up. You need to stop talking about banning men and women's sports. And it's like, what the fuck kind of crackhead shit is that, dude? And again, this is why now that we have the more than 2/3 supermajority potentially here, with 67 to 68, depending on if Beach actually gets in or not, with that 96 vote count is what it is. This is why Democrats need to be removed from office, dude, at this point in the 2023 General Assembly. And it should be shit like that. Whoever's going to be Speaker of the House, gavel those motherfuckers down, get the hell out of the chambers. You're no longer a sitting state rep. Simple as that, bro. Literally as simple as that. Anyway, moving on, we got District 14, which was Jolene Austin, Republican, versus Sean Brennan. Brennan took it by about 4,000 votes, almost exactly. Yeah, sucks. Then we had writing candidate Nicholas Phillips, who got pretty much nobody to write him in, apparently. Apparently, he didn't write himself in, I guess, which is fucking like, what the hell, bro? Come on. You would think you'd have at least one vote there. But yeah, that Richard Dialagua, who I believe is actually originally foreign born, if I'm not mistaken, potentially an anchor baby in this country. Otherwise, won by default there. So then we had Michael Lamb, who should have actually won, unfortunately did not, lose to Bride Rose Sweeney by roughly about 5,000 votes there. Or wait, was it Beth Liston or was it Bride Rose Sweeney that was the one that ran against, what's her name? No, wait, I'm wrong. It was Bride Rose that was the one that primaried Monique Smith out. That's what it was. Because they were both the anti. That's what it was, dude. Yeah, because they were both the anti-gunners is what it was. So yeah, you had Bride Rose Sweeney was the anti-gun primary sponsor with Allison Russo on the 2019 version of Red Flag Laws. Monique Smith was the primary sponsor with Allison Russo on the 2021 version of it. Thank God neither one ever got through a General Assembly because the Republican supermajority here is what it is. So anyway, then we had Tom Patton win re-election by about 5,000 votes there in District 17. You had Darnell Brewer take District 18, becoming a first-term rep by quite a lot, actually, like 18,000 vote difference there almost. So I would say 18 is a solid red district. Probably, if I went onto the map right here, I would say it's probably in one of the many big C's. So let me go ahead and just check just to confirm on that one, if it actually is or not. Yeah, let's see here. Is it up there? Yep, it is. It's in the Cuyahoga County area. So yeah, it would be the Cleveland area then. Probably like Cleveland Heights or something like that, maybe. Makes sense then. Yeah, just a bunch of bullshit in general. So anyway, then we had District 19 go to asshole Phil Robinson, current state rep, gonna be a state rep again. Another term. Got District 20, Terrence Upchurch won by default. District 21 went to a Democrat named Elliot Forhorn. District 22, Juanita Brent won by default. District 23, I really would have loved to see George Phillips win this, but unfortunately Daniel Troy took it to become a second-term rep by about 1,300 votes, give or take. It was 23,714 to 25,036. So yeah, very close race on that one, dude. Not as close as Beach Brown, but definitely in that margin where it would be nice to see like a hand recount on that one if it's under 1,500 votes, kind of thing. So anyway, then I'll like point something out too, by the way. Daniel Troy is a super old motherfucker who he's technically a second-term rep because he was technically a first-term rep in 2020. However, he used to be in the Ohio General Assembly back in the 90s when he was in his like 30s, and now he's in his like late 60s is what it is, dude. So, and that's another thing too, by the way. That's one thing I would like to see eliminated as well when it comes to stuff. It's like, hey, if you've already been here before, dude, go fuck yourself. You ain't coming back in, kind of thing. So it's like either you have your 8 years and you do your 8 years and then you leave and get the fuck out, or you do whatever and then tough shit, you don't get in again is what it is. So But anyway, moving down the line though. Shit, I lost my place where I was at here because it just jumped forward on me a bunch. Where the hell are we at now? Oh yeah, right there. That's right. Then we got Danny Isaac John winning by about a 2/3 majority there in District 24. Piece of shit ex-state senator and known Bloomberg puppet Cecil Thomas, who should have been disqualified from even running in District 25 because of the fact he was jumping over after being termed out in our state senate, won by about a fucking 3, almost 4-1 margin is what it was there. Bunch of bullshit, dude. Cedric Denson, who I talked about a little bit earlier because I was misnaming people, got him by default, just like Terrence Upchurch did again. Those two districts should honestly be one at this point, along with a few others. District 27, Rachel Baker, who is a fucking hardcore leftist cunt, got in over Jen Gurox by about 6,000 votes. Sucks big time. I was really hoping to shove it in Jessica Miranda's face this go around, and I really wish I could have, man. But unfortunately, Chris Manziel came up a bit short. Just over 2,000 votes short, actually. So, fuck you, Jessica. I honestly hope when it comes to people getting thrown the fuck out by our supermajority in the coming year, you're number 3 on the list, bitch. Underneath only Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein. Because I fucking hate your guts, ho. And we've had it out on Twitter before. You know who Ohio Future Education Network is. You may know we're in a different name, actually. But we've had it out before. So, anyway. Yeah. This bitch, the reason I hate this bitch, by the way, is because her fucking cunt ass literally had the audacity to sit there, and she's been pushing legislation in our General Assembly, dude, for quite some time now, as usually a co-sponsor, never really a primary is what it is, but it's all about, like, trans crap and stuff like that, dude, and, like, basically trying to force, like, trans surgeries on kids and stuff like that, dude, and some other stuff along those lines. But the thing that really got me with her was, my biggest issue with this woman is the fact that she wanted to sit there during the constitutional carry hearings and go on a whole tirade rant thing of, my grandpa taught me how to shoot when I was like 5 years old, and I believe that we should have common sense gun safety laws because I'm a fucking dick sucker of Michael Bloomberg. And that's the real truth at the end of the day. This fucking dirty skank is getting bought and paid for by Bloomberg, dude. Not to mention, she is also a hardcore baby killer. Fuck her. Not literally, because we never would, because you're an ugly hoe, bitch. Ugh. Yeah. I could bring up a picture of her, but I'm not even gonna, burn my eyes out with that one, dude, again. So, but yeah, fuck that stupid cunt, dude, for real. Fucking piece of shit, Jessica Miranda. Moving on to District 29, we got Sandy Abrams getting in by default. Again, this should be like one of about 3 or 4 districts. It's all in one county, probably. Let's see. Then we got District 30. Bill Seitz won re-election by about 20,000 votes over Alyssa Mathesis. I think it's her president was name. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Mayhaus. Yeah, that's what it is. Mayhaus. Alyssa Mayhaus. Sorry. Eyes are a little bit foggy right now for some reason. I'm having like serious vision issues right now. I'm trying to read some of these names. I think it's my glasses being all messed up or something. But anyway. Then District 31, we had current state rep Bill Romer win by just over 2,000 votes versus Rita Darrow. I said earlier in one of the other grandstands or one of the other videos I put out in the last couple days here on this channel since the midterms that honestly, I would say any of these races that are like 2,000 or under votes, dude, should probably be considered to be an automatic recount is what it is. Because, the thing is, they have time to do it too because they don't certify until like, I think it's a couple weeks from now is what it is then. And it's like, yeah, you could easily do like hand recounts and stuff like that and just hire some people to do like hand recounts and shit, dude, to like verify like, yes, there actually is like a 2,000 vote margin here. Or like, yes, there is like, 100 vote margin or whatever it is there between Beach and Brown and stuff like that. Because again, if you really want election integrity and you really want, free and fair elections and stuff like that, like people should be demanding, like, I want a fucking hand recount on this one, dude. I would be. I don't care which side I'm running on, dude. Like, I'd be like, hey, I demand there is a hand recount here, dude. And I would say for stuff like congressional races, like the Sykes-Gilbert race, when it's like a couple thousand between them and stuff there, dude, it's like, no, demand fucking hand recounts at that point, dude, of independent auditors is what it would be then. Not some fucking bunch of Democrat assholes is what it is, dude. Fuck all them people and stuff. Anyway, then we got District 32. Current state rep Bob Young beat Matt Shanahan by about 3,000 votes. Just under, actually. It was 2,900 and a bunch is what it is, because it literally is 20,126 to 17,150. So then we had Tavia Golonsky get in by about a 3-1 margin over Christopher Anderson in District 33. Sucks because, like I said in previous episodes, Golonsky is an anti-cop BLM terrorist in our state house. And actually, now I'm thinking about it, you know what? As much as I don't like Jessica Miranda, she might be able to be like 5 or 6 on the list, honestly, instead of like the third, because honestly, the third really should go to Tavia Golonsky because of the fact that Tavia was one of the 3, along with Ingrams and Hicks Hudson, that were trying to push for red flag laws, universal background checks, and other kinds of garbage all throughout the constitutional carry hearings of this year. So yeah, all 3 of them hoes need to be tossed out of fucking office immediately, dude. Right behind Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein. But anyway, I digress and I move on. We got, speaking of Casey Weinstein's bitch ass, got Casey Weinstein winning by less than 4,000 votes versus Beth Bigham. I would demand a recount on that one if I was Beth. Do your job, Beth Bigham. Take that seat down. Buy a recount. District 35, we got Steve Deramichu. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It could be wrong. I believe that's probably some Italian name, just given how it's spelled. It might be something else, though. It might be like Polish or one of those other countries over there. Or some other, something. Although, to be fair, most Polish are into ski, I believe is what it is. So I would think that'd be more like Italian or something similar to it. But he won by just under 10,000 votes over Lori O'Neill. Then we got District 36, where State Rep Andrea White, and this is one that probably should be hand recounted at this point, took it by less than 1,000 votes, 900-ish votes. She won over Addison Caruso. Then we got District 37. Tom Young basically won by default because nobody voted for Megan Overman as a write-in. Apparently even Megan Overman didn't vote for herself, I guess, which is ridiculous, I believe. I think some of those are like missed numbers, what it is, dude. I think those zeros are probably going to become like 1s or 2s or maybe 10s or something like that when it's all said and done for the write-in candidates. Then speaking of districts that should actually be combined right now, Districts 37 and 38 should actually be combined into one. With Tom Young should have been facing Willis Blackspear Jr. is what it is there, who only got 19,000 votes and some change there. Then we got District 39, where State Rep Phil Plummer took it by about a little over 5,000 votes versus LaRonda Jackson. Then this is actually one of the ones I thought was funny because Amy Cox, who was the Democrat in this race versus State Rep Rodney Creech, I actually called her out on Twitter on some stuff on that one, dude, a while ago. This is about a month or so ago. She had popped up on my feed because I was talking shit on Nan Whaley is what it was a bunch of times. And it was something stupid where Cox had said something about like, oh, the supermajority in Ohio's General Assembly has done nothing for Ohioans. Suck Bloomberg's dick, suck Bloomberg's dick. And I'm just like, first of all, dumb bitch, they have done a lot for Ohioans like myself, including pass constitutional carry and stand your ground, and have done very much ensuring the safety of Ohioans so we can protect ourselves now. So fuck you, Amy Cox. And that's why you lost, you dumb bitch, because you went full anti-American, anti-gunner. And Rodney Creech blew you out of the fucking water by an 18,000 vote margin. No, actually, I'm sorry. 17,998 vote margin. You got just over 2 more votes, and it would have been an actual 18,000 vote margin. So, and moving on to District 41, we got two new people in this race, which was Nancy Larson, Democrat, and Josh Williams, who actually won, the Republican, with 21,209 votes to 19,844 votes. Again, this should probably be a hand recounted total thing there. District 42, Derek Marin, who I believe my state rep was talking about. He wanted to put Marin in there as the next Speaker of the House. Marin won by just under 4,000 votes, 22,143 to 18,771. District 43, Democrat Michelle Grimm, who's a newcomer, took it over Wendy Hendricks. I would have loved to see Hendricks get in there. About a 9,000 vote difference between the two, 20,968 to 11,785. District 14 also went, not District 14, District 44 also went Democrat with Elgin Rogers Jr. with 14,932 votes to Roy Palmer III, 8,857 votes. Good on Roy though, man. He did a decent job on that, I think. That's a pretty low county, it seems like, though. If you notice, a lot of these counties, you got 40,000, 30,000, 40,000, 20,000, 5,000, or 25,000, something like that. And then, yeah, this one's 23,000 and some change for the voters in District 44 there, man. So that just seems like it's a low district anyway. Again, probably one of those ones that could be combined to many other districts and become just a one county, one rep policy is what it is then. So, anyway. District 45, current state rep Jennifer Gross beat Chuck Horn by quite a sufficient margin, about 12,000-ish votes there, a little over that actually. District 46, current state rep Tom Hall, who I believe was the one behind the teacher carry bill, whole-handedly slapped the shit out of Lawrence Mulligan by about a 2-to-1 vote margin there, 26,286 to 13,351. District 47, which is one I was looking really forward to because you had little sack of shit 19-year-old fuckboy Sam Lawrence, who is a known proxy for David Hogg and March for Our Lives, anti-gun asswipe, fucking little Gen Z shitbird. Wanted to sit there and talk shit about Carruthers doing pay-to-play stuff in our state house. I don't know if that's true or not, honestly. Is every single Democrat also doing the same exact shit, though, potentially? Yes, they are, Sam Lawrence. Are you going to call it any single Democrat, dude? No, because you're a little Democrat fuckboy, buddy. That's the difference between you and I, Sam Lawrence. I'm almost twice your age, little boy, and I will call out both parties and their corrupt bullshit. This is why I've been saying this stuff on this channel for over 4 goddamn years, dude. Of course, I had to private a bunch of my videos because of doxing and stuff like that from assholes out of state is what it is. That's besides the point, though. But, yeah, I've been talking about this stuff forever, dude. There's a reason why I started doing the Oathbreaker series like a couple years ago now. And one of the first ones is about DeWine's corruption, dude. So, but yeah. And of course, who was actually paying for Sam Lawrence's entire campaign? It was Bloomberg, as March for Our Lives, as all the anti-gun groups is what it was, dude. And he lost by almost 2-to-1 margin, dude. 11,565 votes is what that jackass got. Sarah Carruthers, 21,663 votes. Had she been able to pop the 22,000 on that one, dude, she would have had him by 2-to-1 margin. Actually, it would have been, I think it would have been it would have had to be about 23,000. Actually, it would have been exactly 2-to-1, but it was damn close, dude. It was damn close on that one. If there had been a few more voters in that election cycle, man, yeah, I think she would have definitely smacked his ass 2-to-1 is what it was, man, because she almost got 2-to-1, actually. It was 65.20% versus 34.80%. So, that's funny. Moving on to District 48, you had Scott Olinger take it by an over 2-to-1 margin, 33,867 to David Smith's 15,046. District 49. This is one that became a real interesting one, dude. And again, this is why Ohio now has a 2/3 supermajority, baby. Republican supermajority, baby. Nobody wants to talk about that, though. Even the actual, going back to the thing about that Mohammed guy, dude, there was another article behind that said about how Ohio kept a majority or whatever. It's like, yeah, Ohio Republicans keep veto-proof majority. Didn't say a fucking word about how we expanded that majority now to where we could literally become a one-party state if we chose to. If every single Republican would actually vote in lockstep and start tossing Democrats out of the state house next year, which would be fucking fantastic. I would love to see that, dude. Honestly, seriously, put on the Ohio Channel's fucking video, dude, and just show Republicans tossing Democrats out of office physically, because that'd be fucking funny as hell, dude. You just got like 2 or 3 dudes on the Republican Party just like chucking Democrats out like one at a time. Kind of like the old like chain thing where you're doing water to like put out a fire and stuff kind of deal, where it's just like handing a Democrat off to a bunch of Republicans like one at a time, and it's like, here you go, and it's like, you get the fuck out of here now kind of thing. It'd be kind of like that meme with Barney and Moe, where Moe tosses Barney out the door and he's like, enough of yous, and then fucking Barney just comes back in behind again. You just keep tossing them back out. So because the Democrats are a clown car. But yeah, just funny. But yeah, going back to District 49 there, Jim Thomas beat incumbent Thomas West by almost 3,000 votes, dude. Thomas West, 15,932. Jim Thomas, 18,446. Congratulations, Jim Thomas. You did it, man. You finally busted a decades-long Democrat stronghold of downtown Canton, and you ousted one of the biggest pieces of shit in our state house, being Thomas West, who doesn't give a fuck about fatherless homes or anything else for that matter, dude, because I called that motherfucker out, dude. Back in 2021, Stark County Fair, when you had gangs of violent teenagers, mostly young black males, fighting each other, causing all kinds of havoc, almost knocking over rides by having a 60 to 80 person brawl at the fucking county fair, having to have every single cop in Stark County basically be called in to fucking stop the rioting is what they were about to do there, is what it was, dude. You had all kinds of reports from back then as well on that weekend, that Saturday night, of about 10 or 15 of these kids that were between the ages of anywhere from 9 to 14 years old pulling guns on people. And it's like, dude. And then I call you up like 2 days later, and I'm like, hey, man. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. I call you up. Yeah, no, I called you up 2 days later because it was Memorial Day then when I called you up that day. Left a message on your machine for your office. And I'm like, hey, why don't you do something to actually help everybody, dude? This is one time where you could actually be a bipartisan lawmaker and make something happen and introduce legislation along with your Republican counterparts to address fatherless homes in the state. You know what you did? You had your fucking aide get on the phone back to me, leave me a message, basically bullshitting me, lying your fucking ass off, claiming you were doing just that. There was never any legislation, dude. You weren't addressing jack shit, Thomas West, because you were a fucking loser piece of shit when you were a Canton city councilman, and Canton voter base hated you so fucking much, they wanted you out at a local level, so they fucking voted your dumbass into the state house. So you could fuck over more people. And that's exactly what your political career has been, buddy. It was you as a shitty city council member in Canton, to you being a state rep, to you now being unemployed come January 1st, 2023. Go fuck yourself, Thomas West. I am so glad to see your ass gone, man. Fuck you. Moving on to District 50, my state rep, Reggie Stolfus, won by default again. I kind of wish that this and District 49 were, well, actually, technically, when they get serious about it, 48, 49, and 50 should all be one district in Stark County is what it is, because they're all representing different parts of Stark County right now. So basically, you would have, instead of Olinger, Thomas, and Stolfus being the 3 guys in there now, being 3 Republicans in our state house, you'd basically have that become 1 Republican representing the entire county of Stark. So, and that's how it should be anyway. Same thing, honestly, with Brett Hudson Hilder's thing there, because I think he's actually adjacent to us is what it is. I'm going to go check the map real quick and just confirm that. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's District 32 that actually like encompasses the up part of Stark is what it is right now. Mostly Summit County is what it ends up being there. So yeah, it's 48, 49, 50. So it'd be Stolfus, Jim Thomas, and Scott Lunger representing different parts of this county. I'm trying to find out where 51 is now. 58, 59, 65, 52. Where the hell is 51 at? Oh, okay, 51 is Tuscarawas County. Okay. So that actually is fine then. So you would have Brett basically be in the solo person then for Tuscarawas is what it would be then. Yeah, that's the only one that's in that district map is what it would be. So yeah, I'd be fine with that then. But like I said, man, it is kind of ridiculous to see that being apparently so, dark red that you just have him being the default winner is what it is then. And then we had Gail Manning actually beating Reagan Phillips. This is actually a race I would have actually liked to see the Democrat win in. Mostly because I hate Gail Manning is what it is. Gail should have been primaried a long time ago. She legitimately pulled some real shady shit in our state house a few years back now, where she actually tried to push for a state version of the TAPS Act. And this is why I actually am pissed at Reggie Stolfus to this day, actually, because this man originally voted no on it, which is what he should have done anyway, being, an oath keeper at the time, until his kids were exempt from being threat assessed, and then all of a sudden he became a yes vote on it. So yeah, what the fuck, Reggie? Seriously, bro. Like, what the hell, bro? Fucking ridiculous. You're gonna have your own kids exempt from it and then fuck over the rest of ours. Thank God that legislation basically got destroyed someplace along the fucking line, dude. Never actually made it to DeWine's desk or anything else for that matter. But even still, the fact that it was ever anywhere near anything is bullshit, dude. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely utterly ridiculous that it was even ever part of anything to begin with. Should have never, ever been anything in there, dude. Ever. But anyway, moving on from there, we got District 52. Like I said, with Gail Manning winning by about 6,000 votes there. And then District 53, you had current Rep Joe Miller, who I believe was the one that talked about the DOOR Act. Obviously, he was referring to Chris Dorr and Company when he was talking about constitutional carry, which is kind of funny because, hey, dumbass, there was a lot more than Chris Dorr on that fucking thing, dude. Ohio Patriot Education Network, when we were just known as Ohioans for Firearms Freedom, was also part of that legislation to actually get that shit through. So discounting us as an actual entity proves that you're just an asshole and a cunt. But I'm not surprised by that because you're a fucking Democrat. So, it is what it is. But that being said, yeah, you had Marty Gallagher lose by just under 1,700 votes is what it was. And again, this is one of the races I would like to see hand recounted because I don't think Joe Miller won legitimately. Moving on to District 54, you had current Rep Dick Steen, Dick Steen, beat Brian Burgess by about just over 10,000 votes exactly. And then an even bigger blowout in District 55 was Scott Lips, who's a scumbag. And I say he's a scumbag for many reasons. The biggest one of all of them being the fact that back in the summer of 2021, you had the General Assembly take a months-long break for summer. When they got back into office, you had a piece of legislation come through that would have been medical freedom-based stuff. You had piece of shit Scott Ollinger, piece of shit Scott Lips. Well, Scott Ollinger is also a piece of shit too, so there is that. But Scott Lips is the chairman of the committee where that was being heard at. You had a guy basically call them out. I believe he was a pastor of some kind down in the Columbus area, and he was like, "Bro, Why the fuck y'all taking breaks? You should be in office doing your job, basically, is what it is. Like, you called them out for not doing their job, is what it was. And you had Lips have the audacity to be like, sir, if you don't shut your mouth, I'm going to remove from these chambers kind of bullshit. And I'm just like, how the fuck are you still in office after that, bro? Like, seriously. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, when I talk about the lockstep supermajority thing right now, dude, it needs to be that, and it needs to be replacing the Democrats with actual constitutionalists like myself for the 30-something seats then. And then, along with us, the good Republicans that are still in there, we start voting in lockstep to kick fucking pieces of shit like Scott Lips out. And then we actually make this state a better state house is what it is, dude. Because you start kicking the corrupt and the asshole out is what it is, dude. And you deal with things the correct way then. As far as I'm aware, Lips has really never done anything for this state entirely, dude. He was barely a yes vote on constitutional carry or stand your ground. And it was only after having his fucking arm twisted by like everybody pretty much to get on it. So the fact that he won by like over a 3-1 margin versus Paul Zorn, I think is only because people hate Democrats so much right now is what it is, especially in that county. Moving on to District 56, this was another one of the interesting ones because you had Joy Bennett, who is a known anti-gunner for Mom's Demand. I believe she's actually a Mom's Demand Action plant in this race. And was also a buddy of Sam Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, too. Lost hard by almost 10,000 votes to new state rep Adam Matthews, who was a first-termer. Moving on to District 57, you had Jamie Callender get back in by about a 12,000 vote margin there over Evan Rossborough. District 58, you had current state rep Alcatrona win by just under 7,000 votes versus Bruce Neff. District 59, which was an interesting one here. This is a bunch of new people that were on the ballot. So there was actually 4 people in this race. You had 2 independents running. You had Lauren R. McNally running as a Democrat, and you had a write-in, Cecil M. Morrow, who apparently got 0 votes. Earl C. Garrow got 13,901 votes. Democrat McNally got 15,542 votes, and Greg Burritt got 9,324 votes. Had Greg not been in this race and it just been, I think I said Eric and Garrow. Had it just been Eric and Garrow and Lauren McNally, I believe Eric would have had it, man. Because combining his with Greg's, it would have been like 22,000 something, dude. And they could have taken that as an independent then if that be the case, or third party. That might have been third party, actually. I'm thinking about Libertarian because it's a purple coloration on there. So I'm not sure if that would be independent or it'd actually be Libertarians on those ones. And that's the problem with Libertarian Party, dude, though. It's a bunch of people that want to sit there and claim, no, I'm the biggest Libertarian. I'm the biggest fucking worker of freedom. And it's like half these jackasses love to fucking be all cool with killing babies, dude. Like, fuck all y'all. Seriously. Or you're like that weird fucker in Arizona who's running against Blake Masters and Mark Kelly as a libertarian who wants to sit there and talk about, like, we should have a ballot issue of age of consent. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, seriously. I forget what that guy's name is, but he specifically said that shit on the fucking stage with Mark Kelly and Blake Masters. And I'm just like, bro, did people not catch that? Like, this guy claims to be libertarian. He's talking about basically, like, pedophile shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? And then people wonder why nobody votes libertarians what it is, dude. And it's like, because you're all a bunch of fucking nuts. Or it's like, actually, you have some good people in there, like Austin, what's his name? A few years back now, when Gary Johnson's bitch ass got the nominee. And then Gary tossed Austin's pistol into the fucking trash. Right then and there, Austin should have taken that pistol out and fucking clunked Gary back over the head with his what it is, dude, because it was a replica of one of the ones our founding fathers had, is what it was. But that would have been something to see, actually. Would have been like, you motherfucker. Whoosh. So, I'm the nominee now, bitch. But, anywho. I'm obviously making a joke on that one. But nah, seriously, that was a fucking scumbag move by Gary Johnson, dude. Although, to be fair, it was the same asshole that didn't know what the fuck Aleppo was. Although, did any American at that point? Because we shouldn't be in fucking American wars in fucking third world shitholes for fucking resources and putting in Rothschild central banks. It's simple as that, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Then we got District 60. Chris Jordan got him by default. Jordan's actually a good dude. It was him and Thomas Brinkman were the two guys that were actually the main primaries of constitutional carry. At least the House version of it. Of course, it was the Senate version that later got adopted, but same difference. It was all pretty much the same shit. So, District 61, Beth Lear, who actually beat fake incumbent in the primaries, is now a first-term rep, winning just over 9,000 more votes than Louise Valentine. Good for you, Beth Lear. I know that Beth Lear is an America First candidate. I know that she is pro-gun. I know that she is pro-medical freedom. And I know that she is pro-life. And I am going to be very, very happy to work with her and others in the coming General Assembly when I start doing lobbying stuff down in Columbus and over the phone here in Stark County. And I will specifically be calling her up as one of my first contacts to start making inroads and stuff like that on different things. So, meanwhile, going to District 62, you had second termer and second go-around person, just like Daniel Troy. Gene Schmidt winning re-election by about a 2-1 margin almost over Brian Flick. I feel like I think Flick actually ran before. It was either last General Assembly versus Gene, or it was actually as a Republican in the primary in 2020. I'm not sure which. I feel like that name is familiar. I'm pretty sure that's who that is that I'm thinking of. I don't believe it was somebody else. Anyway, moving on down the line, District 63, current rep Adam Byrd got almost a 3-1 margin win over Richard Perry, 29,195 to 9,100 votes. District 64, new rep Nick Santucci took it by 21,447 to Vincent Peterson II's 20,649. Again, very, very close race, less than a 1% difference between the two. I would actually like to see this hand recounted just to confirm that Nick actually won legitimately, is what it is, dude. And that there actually is like almost 1,000 vote difference there is what it is. So, just like the whole Beach Brown thing when it's like 100 votes, dude. It's like, yeah, I would like to see these under 1,000 ones recounted just to confirm, like, yeah, you did actually win. You're good to go, bro. Because it's like, last thing we want to do is give fucking Democrats the ability to be like, oh, but I totally probably won, but they wouldn't do recounts for me. It's like, nah, dude, do an independent recount for real on both of those races and make sure. And I guarantee they're probably going to come out the same way as what it is, dude. And that way you can basically shove it in their face and be like, nah, you suck, old man. Fuck you. So, anyway, moving on. You had Mike Wojcik running against independent Jennifer Donnelly, winning 2-1 margin on that one. District 66, Shannon Ray took it by an almost 2-1 margin over Christine Collins. District 67, Melanie Miller, who's going to be a new state rep, took it over another new person, being Drew Burge, by about almost a 3-1 margin, 31,159 to 13,235, 70% to 29.81%. Thaddeus Cleggett, who actually primaried out the so-called incumbent there, which was just a guy that was appointed a couple years ago by all people, Larry Householder. Cleggett should have actually won the 2020 race over that dude, and now that he has secured his victory here, he ended up getting in there by default, even though Daniel Crawford was a writing candidate. Again, hard to write people in when you don't know who they are. So, anyway, District 69, which was, I believe, Householder's old district, which Kevin Miller took over. Kevin Miller won by almost 3-1 margin, 33,221 to 12,132. District 70, Brian Limpton won by almost 2-1, 28,000 to 16,000. District 71, Bill Dean, current state rep, won by over 2-1 margin, 28,000 to 11,000 ish. District 72, Gail. This is another one, by the way, that should probably be hand recounted at this point. Gail Palgia, who is now a second-term rep supposedly here, according to this, got 22,227 votes. Kathleen Clyde got 21,038 votes. So you're talking about legitimately 1,100 and like 90-ish, 89, 87, something like that is what Gail won by. And yeah, to me, that's like, I want to say you're a state rep still, but like, I'd kind of like to confirm that with an independent actual hand recount is what it is, man. So anyway, but moving on, we got Jeff LaRae winning by default in District 73. District 74 went to Bernard Willis. District 75 went to, I believe Willis is the incumbent. District 75, Gimbarney is the incumbent. He won again. District 76, Marilyn John, who's the incumbent, got him by default. District 77, Scott Wiggum handedly beat Mark D. Gooch by quite a bit, over 2-1 victory. District 78, Susan Manchester won by default. District 79, you had newcomer Monique Rob Bassel win with 28,817 votes to Taylor Eastham's 10,030 votes. District 80, Jenna Powell basically won by default, even though Melissa Van Dyke was actually in there as a writing candidate. That being said, Powell was one I was talking about earlier when it came to her and Skindell and everybody like that, dude. Then District 81, which should obviously probably be, those two should be combined to one. James Hoops won by default as well. District 82, newcomer Roy Kipfinston won whole-handedly over 4-1 margin over Mandolin Mark Ward, 33,183 to 8,583. Fucking complete blowout there, man. District 83, Republican John Cross beat Claire Osborne by quite a bit, 30,000 to 11,000. District 84, newcomer Angela King got the win with 36,000 to Sophia Rodriguez's 7,000 and some change. District 85, Tim Barhost got him by default there. I believe District 85 actually was the one Nino Vitale represented, by the way. And Nino's wife actually ran in the primary, and Barhost was able to oust her as a potential challenger. So it would be interesting to see if Barhost is actually a more pro-gun, more constitutionalist than Nino Vitale will be. And again, this is one of the people I look forward to working with potentially in the new year when I start doing lobbying stuff. So anyway, moving on, we got District 86. Tracy Richards, newcomer, beat Barbara A. Luke by an over 2-1 margin. I feel like Tracy Richardson is a girl I went to high school with. I feel like that's the same name as the chick I went to high school with. I don't know if it's the same girl or not. Could be a different chick with the same name. But yeah, it's kind of weird. District 87, you had McLean get back into office by default. District 88, Gary Click won re-election for a second term by over 2-1 margin. District 89, that was the one where that Jim Orbenfall guy, who was like the gay rights dude, lost by 9,000 votes to DJ Swearingen. District 90, Brian Baldridge got in there by a 3-1 margin, 25,000 to 8,000 over Andrew Dotson. District 91, Bob Peterson, who is an ex-state senator who was termed out, is now a state rep by default, which is absolute bullshit. He should not be in our state house at all. He should have just been termed out entirely. Go fuck yourself, old man. You're not really that good. You're not pro-2A enough, and you're just a career politician, Bob Peterson. We don't like you. We don't like you. We don't like Kirk Sheeran. We don't like anybody like that, dude. That have been in our state house for 30 fucking years, you assholes. Get out. Get out for real. District 92. Let newcomers take the fucking reins, old men. Seriously. District 92, Mark Johnson got in by default again. District 93, Jason Stevens did the same thing. District 94, Jay Edwards beat Tanya Conroth by almost a 2-1 margin. District 95, Don Jones, current state rep, had a 3-1 margin versus his Democrat challenger. District 96, Ron Ferguson had an over 2-1 margin versus his Democrat challenger. District 96, District 97, Adam Holmes got him by default. District 98, Daryl Kick was basically running unopposed because the writing candidate was nobody. And District 99, Sarah Fowler Arthur secures the 68 count for the Republicans with an over 9,000 vote difference between her and Kathy Zapatito. So yeah, fucking awesome, dude. Like I said, nothing else. Even if they don't certify the Beach Brown race for Beach, we still have 67. We still have the exact 2/3 majority plus 1. Because we only needed 66, baby. We got 67 at least. Potentially 68 if they actually call it for Beach instead of Brown in that race, with 96 people voting more for Beach, apparently. So, yeah, fucking awesome, though, dude. And like I said, these are obviously unofficial results right now or whatever, because they have to be certified still. But if this remains how it is, dude, and we got the 67, potentially 68, yeah, it's time to start booting out some Democrat ass come the new year, dude, for real. And like I said, that Mohammed guy's days need to be fucking numbered real quick is what it is, bro. And I would say, honestly, start passing some legislation to start booting some fucking Islam out of this fucking state in this country, honestly, dude, for real. But anyway, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. Like I said, it's interesting to look at the breakdowns there with how you got some of those districts that are so fucking hard red that it's like you're not going to win as a Democrat. And then you got so many in the major city area, you know, Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, etc., that are so hard blue you're never winning as a Republican. And again, it wouldn't be an issue if we did one county, one rep at this point, dude, because you would still have like some Democrats in our state house, dude, but it sure as fuck wouldn't be 30 something then. It would be probably like 10, 15 at most. And then you'd have like 65, 70 fucking Republicans and independents is what it would be then, man. And I believe truthfully, if that be the case, that's what would happen actually at that point. You would have a lot of independents and third party people, if we actually recognize third party is what it is, get in there. Because you would have a lot of districts not fall red or blue in this state. Then you'd actually have them fall some mixture thereof, or it would be some mixture of like third party, like Libertarian, Green Party, Internet Libertarian, Constitutional Party, you know, some fucking socialist or Democrat socialist kind of shit is what it is, dude. And so forth and so on. And you would actually have like a real mixture of people in there then, dude. And I think you would have the best of everybody's what it would be, man. And you wouldn't have a bunch of people claiming to be, I'm something in front of American, because you're not really a fucking American is what it is. And that's my biggest problem with all that shit, dude. Like I said, I don't care if it's people saying the term African American or saying the term Somalian American or Italian American or fucking Ukrainian American or Russian American or fucking, what else is that? German American or something else like that, dude. It's all a bunch of crap, dude. It's like, no, you are an American, damn it. You're in America, you're an American. If you were born here, you're an American. If you migrated from another country, then technically, I guess, yes, you would be a fucking something else American. But that's a different story altogether. And if that be the case, then because you are a foreign national, no, you should not be allowed to run our elections then, bro. That's really as simple as that at the end of the day, man. I'd also like to point something out, too. This is something I've never really talked about on this channel. At least not recently, anyway. So when I was federally swatted just over 3 years ago by the feds, at that time, there were over 150 failed and successful terrorist attacks, all tied to the same mosque, just close to the Ohio State University down there in Columbus, Ohio. Who did they investigate, though? Oh, it wasn't the Somali terrorist down there. No, it wasn't the fucking Islamic terrorist down there or anything like that, right? No, it was the fucking white guy who said some shit about Andrew Yang. Fuck that, dude. That's why I fucking hate the FBI, by the way. When they tell me, we wasted 6 days on this, You fucking people could have spent a week investigating a fucking terrorist cult at a fucking mosque in Columbus, dude. That potentially this fucking Ismail Mohammed guy has ties to. I only assume the guy's fucking Islamic, honestly. I mean, the dude's fucking Somalian. They usually are. So it's like, bro, you could have been doing all kinds of investigations down there. Hell, maybe you could have actually found the fucking reason why that one kid tried to go on the fucking killing spree at Ohio State's campus during the Kasich administration. That dude was also a Somalian, by the way, that was brought in by Obama. And it's like, and we're letting these fucking people run for office in our state? Fuck that shit. Not only run for office, but then take a seat of power in our fucking state house? Fuck that, dude. No, fuck that. Disqualify this motherfucker from the goddamn running, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. It's absolute fucking garbage, dude. That man should have never been allowed to run for office in this fucking state, dude. Because he shouldn't even be in this fucking country, honestly. I am so sick and tired of it, dude. I am so fucking sick and tired of our country being invaded like this, dude. Through bullshit fucking refugee programs, through fucking all kinds of fucking terrorist hotbed countries. By fucking illegals jumping our fucking border every day is what it is. And coming in here and fucking stealing our wealth and everything else like that, dude. Stealing our jobs, stealing our fucking benefits and everything else like that. Destroying our fucking country from the inside out. Stealing our fucking food out of our damn mouths pretty much is what it is at this point. Like, when's enough, dude? Seriously. Like, when are we finally going to step up and be like, no, fuck you, get the fuck out of here? I think it's coming, honestly. And I think it's going to start with balkanization in this country, dude. And you're going to see you're going to see people that didn't want to do bad things do bad things. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be people like myself. I think it's going to be the quiet ones, honestly, dude. It's going to be the ones out there that were like the random mothers of a bunch of kids and stuff like that kind of thing, man, where they just go like full mama bear mode and just fucking annihilate somebody is what it'll be, man. And I can see that, man, because I was talking to some people recently, and there's a couple chicks I went to high school with that are mothers of multiple children now. And I always kind of like side-eyed them a little bit and stuff like that. And then I was hanging out with them and they were disciplining their kids a little bit here and there. And like they went pretty hardcore, man. And like vocally and everything else like that. And I'm just like, you know, and that's the thing, dude. Like, there are some times where, you know, as a dude, you just want to see a chick go full alpha female. And when they do that, man, like, that's when shit gets fucking scary sometimes, dude, because like, that's when some motherfuckers are going to get fucked up, man. And I believe truthfully, that's what we're about to see happen in this country in the coming months and few years down the road and stuff like that with balkanization, dude. Like, it's going to be, you're going to have a lot of decent, like, pseudo alpha males, and then there's some real alpha males is what it'll be. And then you're going to have a bunch of chicks that just go like full alpha females, what it'll be, man. And just do like some hardcore shit then. And take this country back by force kind of thing is what it'll be, dude. And like I said, if that be a balkanization event, if that be a civil war, if that be a revolution of some kind, you know, so be it. I think it's coming though. And I think it'll and I've said before, and I'll say it again, dude, you know, going back to the whole tribalization thing, when you have people refusing to actually assimilate, and that's the biggest thing with Islam right now, right? Whether it be, you know, Somalis that follow Islam, whether it be anything else that follow Islam, dude, these people will never assimilate. Hell, half of them or more don't even speak English. It's the same thing with people crossing our border every day, dude, that originally Spanish-speaking countries and stuff like that, dude. Whether it be Hondurans, whether it be El Salvadorians, whether it be people from Venezuela or Nicaragua or anything else like that, dude. They come here speaking Spanish, they never learn English. Because they'll go to a place, they'll go to like little, you know, Spain or little fucking Honduras or whatever it is, dude, that's in some city. And that entire city block will just be people speaking Spanish. And they never have to speak English. And so they'll keep doing it is what it is, dude. Or like I said, when it comes to the people that are all Somalis and stuff like that, dude, when you start to group them up and stuff like that, and you have, you know, several hundred, several thousand of them in one place, dude, You really think they're going to learn something that's not Arabic or whatever their native language would be at that point? Which I assume in Somalia it's similar to Arabic, probably. I think, or some kind of like French Arabic, maybe. I don't know. I've talked to my cousins about it a couple times because we were talking about like Somalis and stuff like that, and they were mentioning something because they're in Africa and stuff like that. Is what it was, doing missionary work, and they said something about I guess there is like some of them that speak like some kind of like French dialect is what it is as well. So I don't know, man. But anyway, either way, it's like, do you really think they're going to learn English, dude? No, most of them won't if they don't have to. They'll sit there and maybe have like one or two from the entire, tribe is what it is. Learn the fucking native language is what it is, just so they can communicate across, lines of communication is what it is, so they don't get fucked up is what it is, man. But for the most part, 90% of them are just going to sit there and fucking do their own thing is what it is, dude. They're going to refuse to melt. And that's the problem right now. If you want to have a true melting pot America, dude, you have to never let people in who are not going to fucking melt. We need to have a restrictive ability to restrict who comes into the fucking country and who doesn't, dude. You cannot have a nation with open borders, dude, period. You cannot have a nation with legalized refugee programs with fucking all kinds of other fucking legalization of migration at that point, dude. When you never have a down period of anything to where you can actually have true assimilation, which is exactly what happened with my family when they came over here from places like Poland, from places like Ireland, France, Germany, etc., etc. They were forced to assimilate. My grandmother originally came from Poland, did not speak a lick of English her entire life, refused to learn English. My grandfather, my mom's dad, made sure that his kids knew how to speak English. And even my great-grandmother, who was the woman who spoke Polish, wanted her son to make sure that he spoke English. Because that's what it was. They were usually the communicators in the family, dude. Because otherwise, you were fucked. You were cut off is what it was, man. But that's the problem now. You're importing the fucking third world into the first world, and you wonder why we're a second world country now, faking to be a fucking first world nation at this point, dude. I'm going to say it like it is right now. That's what the real truth of it is at the end of the day, man. America has not been a first world nation for decades, dude. We have been, at best, a second world nation right now for at least the last 25 to 30 years in this country, dude. Because of open border policies by the Democrat Party and the fucking rhino-sacks shit, etc., dude, that are in power at a federal level, that keep mass importing fucking worker bases, that keep diluting the fucking pool of workers in this country and our pay because of that, and then sit there and want to fucking pass a bunch of retarded ass fucking dumbass spending bills to go fund fucking proxy wars in Ukraine and Russia and shit like that, dude. And then be like, oh, we don't know why inflation happened, but we should totally blame Putin for it, right? Fuck you, Biden, you fucking cunt. Fucking dimensional fuckboy. So sick and tired of it, dude. The one thing I'm so glad that JD Vance beat the shit out of Tim Ryan on fucking Tuesday, though, dude, in that race for Senate. I would have liked to see them have an actual fist fight for that seat as well. That would have been nice. Because I would have loved to just see JD knock Tim Ryan's ass out cold. But yeah, it was good though. It was good though, man. Anyway. Yeah. It's just fucking irritating though, man. Like, there's all kinds of chicanery going on there at the fucking federal level too right now, dude. I can't really talk about a lot of it just because, fucking YouTube policy is what it is. But I will talk with people about it in back chats and stuff like that if we talk on the weekend and stuff like that here. Because, yeah, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be for real about things, dude. Because I think we all know that there's a bunch of shady shit happening here in the last several election cycles. Is what it is, dude. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. But, like I said, when you have so many differences and you do not have people assimilate and refuse to assimilate properly, you're never going to have an actual functioning nation ever again, dude. Why are you putting sharks into a fishbowl with fish and expecting those goldfish to be alive the next day? It's as simple as that, really. It's fucking insane, dude. You can't have a country with open borders. You can't have a country with mass importation from the third world Arabic nations. Period. If these people want to sit there and claim refugee status, send them to Saudi Arabia. Send them to other countries like that, dude, that are the first safe country they could go to. It's just like all these Afghans that we imported after the fucking pullout, dude. No, send their asses to fucking Saudi Arabia. If Saudi Arabia won't take them, fuck Saudi Arabia. They're going to take them. And if they refuse to take them, then they can fucking whatever then. They can fight fucking Saudi Arabia then, dude, is what it is. And take a piece of Saudi Arabia for themselves if that be the case then. But it ain't going to be fucking us taking them here, man. Fuck that. And it's really as simple as that, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Enough is enough of this shit, dude. And the worst part of it is, even going back to the Afghan thing, man, there was at least like several dozen people that were imported here, man, that were known fucking terrorists. And it's like, why the fuck are you importing known terrorists on a fucking watch list? What the fuck? Are you trying to do terrorist attacks at some point, people? Goddamn. That's what it feels like. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. It's fucking infuriating, dude, beyond belief, honestly, at this point. I don't know anymore. Things are getting crazy in this country, man. And it doesn't help when you got fucking people being able to run for office and districts shouldn't exist in the state. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude. Like I said, enough is enough of this crap, man. It's time to fight like hell anymore, dude. It's time for Americans to take back America once and for all and do what needs to be done in this country, man, before it's lost forever. Seriously, our founding fathers would be spinning their fucking graves right now if they knew what happened to us as a country, dude. They would have already been like, why the fuck didn't you do your own whiskey rebellion? Or something else for that matter, Shays Rebellion, Nat Turner's Rebellion, etc., etc. But, yeah, it's just a bunch of shit, man. It really is. And it's almost up by the end of the day. So, anyway, I'll be back at some point later this week with a 2A cast. I think I'm almost out of time on this account. I'll have to go back to one of my other ones. This one's like the third one I have now, and I believe that the main, at least the main one, if not both the main and the second accounts that I've created before, probably got time on them again for the month then. So I'll start using those again and let this one catch time for whenever it resets then. But anyway, other than that, that's pretty much where we're at for the day then. Hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of how the Ohio State House is now a supermajority, over 2/3 Republican, to where they could literally beat every single Democrat if they want to in 2023 and beyond. And yeah, I hope that happens, man. I really do. I really do. Hope it happens. Because again, we don't need scumbag career criminals like Allison Russo and Casey Weinstein in there, and we sure as shit don't need motherfuckers like Ismail Muhammad in there. So, anyway, till later. I'll see you guys in the next one.